Hi everyone, I'm going to introduce Paul here. He's a teacher at Eltham College in Melbourne, and I want to share his story because he's revived a 3D printing program and helps a lot of kids there do some really awesome things. Paul, hi, thanks for joining me. So, firstly, for everyone, where do you teach and what subjects do you teach?
Yeah, so I'm just at Melbourne College in research in the sticks for many people would see it as the sticks. so yeah, so I've been here for almost 20 years now, but I've reinvented myself a few times, and that's how I sort of fell into the 3D printing world. But so I basically teach at this stage year 5 to 9 sort of digital technology based subjects. They've got a bit of a choice between sort of filmmaking and photography and then the STEM based sort of 3D printing and laser cutting. So I don't get all the kids for everything, but they kind of get to choose what they're more interested in. And yeah, the ones obviously that choose the STEM based modules get a lot of the experience with the 3D printing and laser cutting. So yeah, and I do a vet subject. It's called creative digital media. So that's just a side thing with the VCE students. So yeah, a bit of fun going from teaching grade 5s to teaching 18-year-olds within the space of an hour. But anyway, all good.
Yeah. No, that's fantastic. So yeah, it sounds like there's kind of a lot of things going on, and that's fantastic to see. There's a lot of problem-based learning there, and I'm just curious, what first kind of got you interested in 3D printing?
Yeah, so basically, I got put into teaching a subject because I was a graphic designer for a bit, and I thought, he can handle all the digital technology stuff and whatever. And I'm originally a PE teacher, as you can probably see. I've got a bit of sport coaching today, but and then I had an interest, obviously, just through loving technology and everything. And I noticed just 3D printers sitting there after some other stuff was left.
So you didn't introduce 3D printing; it was already kind of there.
Yeah. Well, the way I sort of saw it was more of a marketing gimmick than anything else. Which I know a lot of schools have 3D printers collecting dust, and it was probably the case after some teachers left here. I kind of sat there and then just waiting for someone to sort of show a bit of interest and bring it into their teaching and curriculum. So I guess I saw a bit of an opportunity there for kids who aren't as much into their visual arts and more into their digital tech and things like that. So we had some really old Lulzbot printers. I don't know if everyone even knows what they are, but the guys at 3D Printing Gear knew what they were, and they fixed them up for me, and they lasted. Yeah, they're still fine, but they're pretty clunky, and they let off a lot more fumes and things unlike the ones that we sort of use today. So yeah, that's how I got into it. I just sort of taught myself just watching YouTube videos and whatever else, and just tinkering around, and then we sort of just built it up from there, and we got some Creality printers in, and again I sort of went through that experience and learnt a lot about bed leveling because there were no automatic bed leveling on those ones, so that almost wanted me to sort of quit right there, but I pushed through and things worked pretty well, so yeah, and now it's a lot easier we've got the Prusa and the carbon the Bamboo Lab. So it's come a long way in about, I guess I've probably been doing it for about 6 or 7 years now. So yeah.
Amazing. Yeah, the technology over that time has moved quite a lot. And now with the auto leveling, slow calibration, you said we got the X1 carbon, so you have an enclosed space as well, which helps with printing. Really. Like they've also thought about the serviceability and ease of use, and the software's really come a long way too. From what you're saying, like the challenges were obviously like the machines were difficult to use, but now the machines have kind of, you kind of upgraded your machines. And were there other challenges, like in terms of like, so whoever introduced the 3D printing, maybe they left, or were there other challenges that you kind of faced, not just the machines themselves?
Yeah, so I guess it's it was sort of, I was kind of the only one who even remotely would have had I guess, a subject that would have allowed for that sort of thing. I mean, I know science and maths teachers could probably bring it into their curriculum a bit, but there was no one sort of jumping on board to sort of partner with me. So I guess I was on my own for a while, and again, I'm not trying to plug 3D printing here, but I stumbled across them, and if it wasn't for them, I don't think I would have gotten to this stage. Like I had to learn a lot more off them, just getting things repaired and fixed and whatever. But then, apart from the machines itself, I guess training yourself up when I guess you're not classically trained in an engineering field, has its own challenges, and you sort of rely on YouTube. Well, I relied on YouTube a little bit, and it's become a lot easier. I've found if there's a problem, there's even Facebook user groups now for different, for the Prusa and for everything, and you can just pose a question. And so I guess, I don't know if I've answered your question, but it's kind of, it's I've just sort of learned as I've gone, and it's apart from the machine itself, I guess it's just, trying to get other people on board, which I've started to now, which is good, and getting students to actually, do all the slicing themselves these days, whereas I used to just do it all myself because I thought, no, they're going to mess it up or not put supports on or whatever. And I'm at a better stage now where I can bring in, especially some of the senior students, to come in and get things going if they want their own project, or even helping the younger students. So that's probably
fantastic. Like there's a lot of skills to learn. So my wife isn't computer savvy, but she can run 20 machines and prints like thousands of parts a year. And that's because the technology's come a long way. But not everyone is married to an engineer that can show them. So part of the community is to really share that knowledge. You don't have to kind of reinvent the wheel every time. I'm really glad that 3D Printing Gear has been able to help on that front, and we'll continue to do so, of course. But you mentioned that the students, you're getting more of the students on board. What kind of projects do you do with them?
Yeah, so because I teach, I guess, from year 5 to 9, I basically progressed through the different, I guess, the briefs that I give them vary quite a bit. So in year 5, for example, I might just get them to do a simple nameplate or a sign for their door, so it's nice and flat, and they're just working with a bit of text. And then I'll move up to with year 7s. I give them a brief, maybe something that they could be of use in their home. So it has to be an object. I give them examples of toothbrush holders or desk caddies or PlayStation remote holders or whatever as a base, and then they have to produce something, as long as it's something of use to them at home. So that's I guess year 7-ish level, and then depending. So usually I do a house design, so they'll have to try and replicate their own house, which is a bit of a challenge for some. They have to sort of look at it from all different angles and bird's eye view and all that sort of stuff, and try and really think about the structure of and also all the extra things that might be attached to a house that they don't usually think about. So that's that. And then year 9s, they do accessories. So they design a t-shirt, that's a separate part of the course, but then they 3D print just accessories like a tag that can be attached to the t-shirt, or a little box that they can it's like a marketing thing, I guess. They deliver, if they were going to sell it off, they'd have the box and the t-shirt sitting in the box, sort of thing. So they have to put an element of the logo they've put on the t-shirt on the actual box itself. So just trying to just increase, make it more, I guess, relevant to maybe an industry they might go into in the future. So
that sounds awesome. There's like a problem that you kind of throw them, and they just have to use like whatever skills that you've kind of equipped them with to deal with it. So how is that, like, in terms of like, so this is a program obviously, and these things that you've like in the last couple of years introduced. So how have you seen that help students, or like what's the change been?
It's kind of great when I give them their model. Like it's just a lot of, most of them sort of light up, and a lot of them are kids who aren't they've got whatever issues and they're not as social or whatever. But I think it just gives them a bit of success in something and gives them that positive reinforcement that they can achieve something with, a bit of problem solving and a bit of creativity and things. So yeah, it's kind of, I guess, that rewarding side of it, which is really good. And then
Love
some
it.
of them separately to that, they kind of come back and for other subject areas, they'll just, instead of doing a boring PowerPoint or whatever the teacher wants them to do, a poster that goes on the wall and falls off, they come and see me and say, oh, do you think I can do this as part of my project? And yeah, so it's great to see them come back. Or they might do some sort of engineering subject in year 10 or 11, and yeah, they just come and see me, and they need certain components to whatever they might be doing, it like an RC car, and they need certain components. So yeah, it's good to see them thinking outside the square and remembering some of those skills from when they were younger. Yeah, so that's
Love it.
yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, really like thinking outside the box. I mean, I think that was the biggest thing that I have like learned in 3D printing, is that ability to like problem solve. So even like having issues with the slicing software and not getting the right properties that you want, and going back and looking at the design, like the actual troubleshooting process for me taught me a lot. And I'm sure the students going through that would have a similar thing. Has it helped the teachers in any way?
Yeah. Let me think. Yeah, I guess there have been stuff over the years who've doubled in a little bit, but I guess none have really taken it on board personally to kind of bring it into their teaching or anything. Sometimes they might need something for their personal life. They just want something made or something, but no one's really jumped in. And actually, one has I lie. One has he does the year 10 engineering, and he actually he gets them to create something that holds a speaker, like some sort of structure that holds a speaker. So yeah, he has actually probably been the only one who's really brought it into his class, now that I think about it. But yeah, everyone else, I'm going to run some. What's that, sir?
Sorry, I was just going to say, is that their goal moving forward, to bring more teachers into it and help introduce it into their classes?
Yeah, for sure. So I was going to say I'll probably run a few PDs before the end of the year, just with staff who are interested. During our meeting schedule, they sometimes open it up to staff to present a different skill and whatever. So I think once I do that, there might be a bit of uptake with staff, and it'll take, I guess, even maintaining the equipment. I'll talk to there's an art technician and the science technician. So I think been a while that I've wanted to train them up just to help me maintain the machines. And if I'm away for a period of time or whatever, then at least there's someone around who can try to oversee it. So but that's in the future. Hopefully in the near future, we'll get a few more on board with it all. Because I probably think it's hard and whatever, but it's actually, once you get your head around it, it's not too bad. So
yeah, definitely. I mean, so what would you tell them? Like, obviously, if you were teaching them on the DIY kind of machines, then it might be a different story. But with the new machines that you've got, what would you tell a teacher that's kind of thinking about it or wants to show other people, but might be hesitating?
Yeah, I'd probably just get them into something simple like Tinkercad and get them to design something and literally save the file and then load it in, onto the SD card and show them the whole process without getting into the technical side of it. And then, once they're on board, then maybe, I'd probably direct them to even watch, get some sort of getting started on a Bamboo Lab printer so they can have a visual sort of reference and explanation on how the mechanics work, and the more in-depth sort of slicing sort of things that you might need to be aware of. But so that's probably how I do it. But definitely hands-on to start with, and giving them a product that they've produced to show, I guess, how easy it can be if you keep it simple to start with, and then later on probably get into the workings of the machine and troubleshooting and all that sort of stuff, because that's a definite hurdle that can turn people off if they run into trouble.
Sure. It's funny that you're mentioning that, because we're we run these kind of 1 hour classes where we'll just show people the very basics of 3D printing and like how easy it is to get started. So yeah, like in terms of like just loading, just, you know, you got the, so for example, with the bamboo machine, it can be as simple as loading the right material, checking that you got the right settings, which like preset settings, and then loading a file and hitting print. So, you know, very quickly you can get up and running. Now, obviously maintaining the machine and you know, fixing issues that you might have could be another part of it. But yeah, to get started, it is really it is a lot easier than you might think. It's been awesome to you know, to chat and you know, see the impact that you guys have made at the school. So yeah, well done. Like, you know, like kids need this sort of stuff to be pushed to think outside the boundaries. And even with all this software, they're just and these technologies at their disposal, they're just getting smarter and smarter. And you know, the stuff that you can see getting made out of schools now is just like it's just amazing what kids are able to produce. So, you know, thanks for sharing your story, Paul, and yeah, really appreciate your time.
No worries. Thanks, Tony. All right, I'll bump into you soon again.
Absolutely. No worries.
All right, thanks, mate. See ya.